join?
Get some water. Okay, bring him in. I don't care.
Does this mean he wants to join? I don't know.
When his hands up?
Yeah.
Yeah. That means for like asking to join in.
Yo.
Y'all, what's it up?
Alright, yeah. So, alright. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so. Fucking. What do y'all think, like, the issues with gender equality would ultimately be?
I think the issue with when we're talking about gender equality,
let me switch up.
like-
Let me switch up the fucking question so it's easier to answer. Do you believe that men and women are equal in ability, or are they just equal in value?
they're equal in value.
Both.
Both. Okay. Godkiller, you believe that women are equal in ability. Why is that?
Why is that? I believe that in some cases, if we have 10, if we got 5 cookies and another 5 cookies, let's say we need to get to 10 in total. All there's 10 cookies, but 5 of the cookie goes to a woman and another 5 cookie goes to a male. Well, that would still be equal.
Okay, now let me ask
What?
you this. If you put an average man and an average woman in a boxing ring, what's gonna happen?
More than likely, I would say a male would win, but there are things that women are just superior at than males, and I believe they would all come to an equal standing.
So
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about.
Hold on. What do you believe that these women are superior in?
I think we would have to go with the most obvious one, giving birth. I think
That's not
that's
something.
But are
hold
women
on, hold on,
superior
hold on.
in
That's
coming?
not something they're superior in. That is something they can do biologically that we can't. That has nothing to do with their abilities. That is not something they are superior in. For someone to be superior,
To give birth.
both people have to be able to do the same thing at different levels of capacity. You cannot say that women are superior at giving birth if men are unable to give birth in the first place. That is contradictory to the word superior.
I wouldn't say so, because we got seahorses, male seahorses that give birth.
Okay,
don't
so
see
that's
anything
like
wrong
saying,
with
But that's a
that's like
different
saying someone.
species.
That's like saying that someone without legs. That's like saying someone who has legs and can sprint is a superior runner to someone who doesn't have legs. No, the guy that doesn't have legs can't run.
That's fair. Well, no, they would be a superior runner because they can't compete with the person that has legs.
Oh my fucking.
They can't run like them. That's the thing.
That's like saying,
If they don't
that's
have
like
the
saying a
capabilities
bird.
to do-
That's like saying a bird has superior flight over a fish. No, the fish can't fucking fly.
No, I mean, yeah, they do.
Oh my
Yeah, they would.
God.
Okay,
Oh my
God killer, but if you're trying to do this disqualification tactic, can't you just say or apply the same knowledge that defeats your whole point of that they're equal in ability, that men can produce sperm and women can't?
That's fine. Yeah, I agree with that. I think men
But then
can.
that defeats your original premise, which was they're equal in ability.
Yeah, they're not
Um,
equal because they're able to do something that we literally cannot do. That does not make them equal.
Actually,
Because I can
well,
name.
I
I
believe
think-
the amount of things that we are
Well,
not able to do and the amount
but-
of things that women are not able to do.
But here's the thing, God Killer,
equal.
is that it sounds like your whole logical premise is that like we have different things that we're like superior than in abilities, and thus they just seem to like equal out, making us like equal in
No.
general,
So
which
let me-
isn't the case.
Let me ask you this.
That doesn't
Do
make
you
sense.
Let me ask you this, God Killer. Do you believe that there are things that men and women can compete in, right? On a global scale, that women are outright superior in? Remember, they have to be able to compete. Everybody in the world has to be able to compete in these things in order to claim superiority. So, in this case, do you believe that there is an instance in which all women would be superior over all men in a specific topic?
A certain topic, I would say.
Name a topic.
Probably sex. I think they're probably more sexual
Superior
and like,
in sex. You believe sex is a competition, God Killer?
I mean, sex can be, yeah.
Why would sex be a competition, God Killer?
Well, out there you might hear the term of, yo, okay, I fucked like 80 people. How many people have you fucked? They'll be like, I fucked like 81. And there's a competition about how much.
If I shit myself 5 times a day, does that make me a better shitter than someone who shits 1 time a day?
Oh, fuck yeah, it does. It does. Like, what?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, man. Okay, so that's like saying this, right? Someone who plays Call of Duty 5 hours a day is better than the world champion of Call of Duty who only plays 1 hour a day. But the other guy does it 5 hours a day, so he must be better. Well, obviously not, because he's not the fucking world champion, is he?
I don't think that has a correlation. As
No, it
what
definitely
we were
has a
saying,
correlation. One guy is
It has a
doing
correlation
shit
with your
more.
premise.
It has the
No, no,
same
Your
as the
logic-
guy.
the question posed by you is the amount of times they shit. Do they shit more than the other person?
Well,
Yes,
guess
they
what?
do.
Well, guess
No, he
what?
said better.
This guy's playing more, so he should be better. But guess what?
No,
He's
no.
not.
You have the skill thing, and then you have the it's either the how
Okay,
much they're
we're-
better at doing more hours than the other
Document,
person.
You just defeated your own argument. Do you realize why?
Okay.
Because we're talking about competition, which is a skill-based thing. So you saying
Yeah.
that a skill-based thing doesn't work here is a contradiction to your own entiire argument.
I don't think that
You're up.
is a contradiction to sex at all.
Also,
You believe
God
there's-
Killer, you're
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
God Killer. It sounds like you're falsely equivalating like a quantity with quality, because he brung up the whole like someone shitting 5 times a day on themselves versus once, and then he said, "Are they he said better. He never said, "Is that person just shitting more times?" Like, I don't know why you tried to change the premise, but you're saying just
are they
because
better
someone
at
has
shitting
sex
because-
more, then they're just, because you said someone having more sex just automatically just means that they are in general better.
No. So that's where I think you misconstrued it.
I didn't misconstrue. You clearly
did,
said that.
actually. No,
What
you
is your
did. Let me.
argument? What is your argument?
Wait. So this is where the misconstruction comes. The whole thing he asked me was, why is that a competition? I
would
bring up
sex
a
be a
fucking example of people competing over the amount of times they had sex.
Okay, so like
That's
I said,
the
if you're
only-
going to compare the amount of time someone has done something, then clearly the person who's playing 5 hours of Call of Duty should be better than the world champion who only plays 1 hour of Call of Duty every day. But that's not the fucking case.
Yes, because you also said that women are more superior at sex because they're better at sex, and you said they're better at sex because they can have more sex.
Because they have
Actually, I
more
did,
sex.
I did
Why?
not say that. Actually, I did not say that.
I didn't say you
hold
said that
hold
verbatim.
You insinuated.
I did not.
Actually, God Killer, you did insinuate that. You said that women were superior at sex, and then when we asked you how sex would be a competition, you said that one guy has more sex than the other guy, which means, in your own words, that you believe
Wait a
that the amount of
second.
sex
Wait,
you
that's
have
the whole-
correlates
wait,
to
the
how
whole
good you
entire
are at
thing-
sex, and thus women are better at sex because they have more sex than men. Did you not say that?
Wait,
Except, here's the issue with that. In order to have sex between a man and a woman, guess who has to be there? A man and a woman. So in that case, women would not be having more sex, as men would be having the same amount of sex with them. Isn't that about a bitch?
Well, there's a lot of issues with that.
Oh, is there?
So I can see there's a little bit of issues with what you just said about the sexing there.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Oh, you
it's
bring
your
up
words.
lesbians.
It's your
There's
words,
different
not
ways
mine.
to have sex. There's different ways to have sex. I mean, those were
We're
your
talking
words that they must be
specifically-
with a
We're
man.
talking specifically penetrative intercourse. Specifically penetrative intercourse.
Why is that when I said sex?
You mean reproductive
Okay, do you
intercourse?
want to? Yeah, reproductive intercourse. If you want to include other forms of sex, I mean, we can. If you want to argue lesbians, we can argue gay men. It doesn't
Do you know what
change. It
strap-on-
doesn't change the argument here.
It doesn't help your line of reasoning.
You know what a strap-on is, right? You know what that shit is?
That's not reproductive, so your argument falls apart.
That's still fucking sex. It does not need to be sex itself does not inherently need to be reproductive.
Okay, so your argument is sodomy. Okay, that's fine. Men sodomize too. What's your point?
women do it much
Prove
more
that.
and they're more
Okay,
experienced
easy.
with
Prove
it.
that.
Prove that, sure. Let me go get your statistic real quick.
But the problem
Yeah.
is we were explicitly talking about reproductive sex a
Yeah, but
second
if he
ago in
wants, if he
crisis
wants to bring
actually.
in, if he wants to bring in sodomy, I'll tell him prove that. Prove that women
No,
have
but-
sex more.
And then when you prove it, you have to be able to relate it to your
To
one
how
of your
they
point
are
that
better.
they're
Yeah.
better.
Prove
Because
how
they do
having
more.
more sex makes it better. Oh, and guess what? Even if you are wrong and women, don't have sex more than men, I would still make you prove that having more sex makes you automatically inherently better at having sex.
Oh
Because
my
in case you
god.
haven't noticed, there's this word called prodigy. What a prodigy is someone who has not done or had a lot of experience in something and is still better than the vast majority of other people that are doing the same thing and have been doing it for years, which destroys your entire argument.
You could also get into subjectivity too. Like you could just say like people's perspectives and interpretation on what good sex is could change like a lot of the numbers and like screw them in a certain sense. Like it's kind of weird to like.
Wow.
It's just weird to conflate quantity and quality. Anyways, it's like
This went a very
usually
weird direction.
yeah. It
It turned on when they what the fuck? What the?
the thing I think is weird is I think
that-
it's weird that we are doing things like saying like a number of something would like cause like an equivalence between the genders, like saying like, oh, a woman can give birth, so that's like 1 point for them, but a man can produce sperm, so it's 1 point for them, so in that aspect they're equal because they got equal points.
Which
Like
is-
that's a really weird line of
why
reasoning.
which is why I decided to take it away from that and have something that they can compete in. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Also,
would
even with that
I would
line of
compete
reasoning.
in something that has empirical evidence like academics or sports, not something as subjective as better at having sex, which we can't empirically
Yeah, that's
prove
pretty
anything.
subjective.
I mean, that's kind of
You
odd.
would be asking a biological. You would be asking for a biological factor. Would you agree to inherently that a woman's sex drive is superior to a male's?
How
No,
about that?
it's
That's
not.
not a competition. Once again, this is
No,
not something they're
no,
competing
okay,
in.
okay,
That's like
well-
saying, no, God killer.
No,
Once
no, no,
again,
no.
God killer. That's like
That's
saying because a
not
woman
true.
produces more
Okay,
estrogen
okay,
in their
okay,
body
listen.
than a male, that they are superior to men in producing estrogen.
So the whole thing you're doing here is trying to think of what I'm gonna say. Do you know what I'm gonna say?
God
It's-
killer,
it's
you just
very
said
weird.
that their sex drive is
I asked-
superior.
I
Their
asked you a
sex drive
simple
is
question.
sex drive is a fucking consequence of their hormones. I just gave you an example of a hormone that they produce more of than men. What is your issue with my equivalation there?
Your equivalation. Okay,
Probably the
so the whole
wrong
entire
word, but
thing that you were doing was saying that. Well, the whole entire thing you were trying to do was say or make up something I did not say at all. That's where the issue is. I never
Okay,
said anything. I just had a
So,
simple
God killer,
question.
did you not say that a woman's sex drive is superior to men verbatim?
No, I asked, would you say a woman's sex drive is superior?
And I said no, and then I explained to you why I said no. I see no issue with that. Does anyone else see any issues with that?
You went on to say that it would not be a competition. Now, insinuating that I have a weird argument that I was.
Once again, God
incorrect.
killer. Like I said earlier, when you use the word superior, it has to be in relation to something that they can compete in. You cannot say that a woman is superior because they can literally do something that a man is not physically
Okay.
or
Can I
academically
s-
or intelligently capable of
Wait,
doing.
you saying men
Can I
aren't-
say something?
you saying
Can I
men
say
can't have
something that'll?
sex?
Go ahead.
No, can I say something that'll contribute to this? Okay, so when we're talking about the like comparison between both of them when it comes to the competition of having sex, would you agree with the line of reasoning that one of them reaching an orgasm on more like quickly or on average more so than the other gender would mean that they're competing better at sex because they're reaching the objective of getting like pleasure from it? So from that line of reasoning, would you say that men are better at sex because they achieve orgasms on average more so than a female does? So they're actually completing the objective.
No,
Wait,
would
wait.
not
Did you just say? Wait,
that.
Thank you,
let
Harvey.
me just understand.
That's what Clueless is trying to say.
I want to
That
interject if I
line-
can.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I actually came into the conversation really late, aloha. But I wanted to speak to a couple of points. The first one being what Kula said. He actually did make a very valid point, which can be tricky to answer. But the only problem is, what is the definition of better? Because one person better at sex could be positions, better movement of the body, and to another person better could be, like you said, reaching the orgasm first. So really, there is no way to.
So right, Harmony.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying with why I was moving the word like superior to a competition-based subject like academics or sports, because we cannot empirically prove that someone is better at having sex. There's no way to prove that someone is better at having sex. There's no empirical evidence to back
Wait,
that.
but I did.
Yeah.
And I rebut.
No,
Because it's subjective.
No, you look in
literally
general. I said
rebutted
two
you,
things.
like everyone did.
No, my rebuttal was specifically I was using something that has empirical evidence and data to back it up, which was the orgasms. But the problem with me bringing that up was to bring up the fact that it's still subjective. Even with empirical data, it's subjective because it's subjective to people's interpretations of like how they would view good sex. Like someone could view having an orgasm like more on average wouldn't be good sex because they might not view the orgasm as like the end all means.
You also have to think about how people view sex to begin with. Some people believe better sex is slow and intimate. It helps them achieve orgasm faster. Other people believe better sex is rough and incompassionate. There are different ways that people perceive sex. You cannot claim that one sex is better than the other. That is not how sex works.
We can conclude there's no way to even measure that because every measure scale is different based on different aspects.
Your entire argument falls apart, God Killer. There's no way to measure
I
who's
wouldn't
better
really
at sex.
understand that if I've already sent data. That's the thing.
What data?
There's no measurable data.
Yeah, I sent it in general.
It's still subjective, though. It's always going to be opinion based. That's just the human nature. That's how planet because everyone has different desires.
God Killer, your argument of sexual drive, I already fucking destroyed that. The sexual drive comes
defeated every one of your points. Why do you kill others?
Sex drive comes from hormones. I gave you a hormone that
Actually-
women produce more of. It's
Actually, let me-
better.
Like to combat that like evidence anyways, do you know women lose their sex drive because of menopause and stuff like that? Like they actually lose a lot of those hormones as they age, and men don't. Typically they don't lose it like at least around the same age. Like men can continuously like still reproduce with people well within their like 50s and 60s.
God Killer, I want
Like
you
they-
to understand.
Wait,
I want you to
wait.
understand how absurd it is.
Shut up, Christ.
I'll let you speak. But hold on.
No,
I want you to
I'm-
like observe how absolutely crazy it is that even if your point was valid, Clueless would still have beaten your point.
Okay. Clueless. So you said that was it males still produce use at the age of 50?
Yeah, they can, yeah.
So wouldn't that mean who are they producing with?
What do you mean who they're reproducing with? They're reproducing with the opposite sex. That's how reproduction works.
Mhm.
And it doesn't have to be reproduction. We can use like what we were talking about with you. You could say like sex in general.
Wouldn't that mean what you saying that women lose it? Would it make sense?
No, literally, women.
No,
have
they can
a
have sex
period
with a
of
younger
life
woman.
called a menopause that stops them from having these hormones. I think you're misunderstanding the entire point of what he's saying. Men do not go through that phase. Yes, they do lose testosterone, but they can still like have a sex drive and be able to reproduce well into their 70s and 80s, whereas a lot of women cannot. I would say the vast majority cannot.
Yeah, and they can just have sex with younger women.
And still reproduce a child. We've seen it happen
Like, I don't-
a while.
Okay.
I don't know.
So the issue with that, I'm looking to
Who was it that slept with their granddaughter? They were a famous person. They slept with their granddaughter, and they said that it doesn't matter because like age is just a number or some shit. It was like really fucking weird. I don't remember who it was, but they were famous. But it just goes to show, like.
So the thing with
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's just with when it comes to like the reproductive organs and stuff and like basic anatomy is that women are actually born with like a set amount of like eggs within their ovaries. So like they actually eventually come to a limit. Men, while they can lose like their testosterone and they can like decrease in the amount of sperm that's like being generated within their like testicles and their prostate and stuff, like they never like lose that ability on average. Like of course there's also like there's the ability like a exception to the rule that like they'll eventually like lose it, you know, in some people, but on average they don't. Like they could lose like a sex drive, but like it's just weird because you're saying like you put out, oh well, women have like a higher sex drive like when they're in their primes, and it's like, okay, well then a men can just have a sex drive for a longer period of time. So like where do you like bridge that?
Superior sex drive. Once again, God,
Yeah, like was it like
what we're asking you for is, do you have any conclusive evidence in any computable fashion that makes women superior to men? We asked you if they could compete, like if there is a competition that would make them superior.
Yeah,
You have given us nothing.
I was just about to ask that. How is that supposed to like equate to the ability point that he was trying to refer to?
The
I was
whole
like, how
point
did
is
it
that
get to this?
in
How is he
ability,
arguing against this?
You're arguing that they're equal in ability. I'm giving you a chance to give evidence and reasoning behind that, and you have given us nothing. You've given us subjective garbage the entire time.
also sex doesn't have to inherently be an ability. It can be like technique based, like not ability. Like when we're talking about like
It's not
ability,
even a competition.
we're like you can well, yeah, it's not a competition. It's actually a cooperative thing.
Exactly.
Like I don't.
You're playing co-op.
Yeah.
This isn't multiplayer team deathmatch.
Wow.
But like, it's just like
Okay, so I just got a cramp, but whatever. Let me just
You got a
fuck.
brain cramp, bro.
No, I got a leg cramp.
Yeah.
drink milk and eat bananas.
I do. That's the thing.
Well,
What type
do
of
more.
bananas?
What type of bananas? Just bananas, bro. There doesn't have to be a specific type.
Green
I don't
ones.
know, man.
As long as it's got potassium.
Getting off topic here. Where
But yeah,
Yeah. Let me just send you this. Was it?
Is this all you're gonna do, Crisis? We've already God Killer. We've already
Yeah,
like
right,
defeated your
but,
point. You
if
going
you-
then and then again about sex drive does not even prove your original premise, which is
Okay,
kind of
let's go.
odd.
okay, and before like anyone says anything, let's say for the sake of argument, you prove your point and you say, okay, women are more superior in sex. Okay, what is that? How does that have to do with anything? Because we're
So-
talking
so
about the
what-
stipulations with gender
wait,
equality.
So what
And
do
we're
you
like-
want?
No,
What
so
do I
okay, so
want?
like
I've given you the answer to what I want multiple times. I want you
Like,
to
look-
give me a competition-based subject that women are superior and men to. Do you have anything that women and men can compete on that women are superior and men to?
Oh my God.
Yeah, sure.
Give me one. You say
But-
yes, but you have not given me one.
Okay. We could go with leadership, speed, or solve problems and analyze issues.
you said speed.
Who the fuck is competing in leadership speed? What the fuck are you talking about?
What's leadership speed? Could you elaborate that for me?
Yeah, sure.
Is that how fast they become a leader?
Leadership. Leadership speed is not one unique competence, but a combination of linked behavior exercise done by a leader.
Okay.
Okay, I would.
Alexander
I could
the
get
Great.
empirical at. Yeah.
Let's see. George Washington. Let's see. Fucking
Literally.
Hitler.
Can't be U.S. president.
Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see where I'm going with this?
I see the absurdity you're going with. So, Oh, you-
So, do you realize, right? When we talk great leaders, when we talk leaders that have become legendary for their combat prowess, for their understanding of their men, for their fucking ability to fucking strategize their tactics. No one is bringing up females in this regard. Why? Because it has not been shown, and there's no empirical evidence to back what you just said.
Okay, wait. Okay, so first of all, the whole entire thing here is using extreme icons, right? Now, back in the past, to say we go to ancient Greece, women were not really viewed as equals.
He brung up modern examples.
No. He said Alexander the Great. So
okay, but that's one of the examples. You're cherry picking an example.
Yes,
you're cherry picking an example. So you're being purposely obtuse
as well.
Theodore Roosevelt. There you go. Easy modern example in
Who's
America.
that?
You can understand that.
Who the fuck's that?
Oh, he doesn't.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
No, I seriously don't know who he is.
Oh, I know you don't.
Okay,
it makes sense that you don't, because you don't even know what you're talking about, really. Oh my god.
Okay. So this is the thing.
Christ.
So the thing here, Mr. Crisis, is what I really do want to go over is that I have a study. I have multiple studies about this, and I've sent this one in general. If you want to have a look at it.
All right, you have multiple studies.
Multiple studies.
Oh, do they meet the parameters for a study?
I mean, hold on.
Do they meet?
Hold on, Clueless. You have studies that focused on women to see if women had better leadership skills than men, instead of going off of historical evidence in which we have seen time and time again that a woman's ability to lead and make strategic decisions in the heat of the moment are not even comparable to that of men.
Mr. Crisis, no, there's a bit of an issue there, is that women have not had the opportunity or the chance to get into those high roles.
Hillary Clinton.
They have. They're using.
That's very modern. That's like.
Yeah,
that's
you're right. It is very modern. But they had the opportunity. They had the opportunity.
Mr. Crisis, before the 2000s, year 2000, they did not have any opportunity.
What?
The Queen of fucking England.
Did you say 2000? Okay, that's actually.
Queen of fucking England.
I just said the 2000s, bro. Just referred to the 21st century.
Yeah, like women had no opportunities before 2000, like at all. Like 1999, they were chilling in my kitchen.
I think the 2004. I think the 2004 is where we have heavily had more opportunities than they did before.
Okay,
sure,
well
let me
also put this up here. Do you know leadership can also be considered a subjective topic? Like, you're picking subjective things. You know, there's leadership within families.
Boy.
Leadership is subjective as well. Like, I don't know what you're like. This isn't an objective thing you're using.
Different people want different things out of leaders. That's why we have different political parties. People want to see different things.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Look at the fucking study and have a look for yourself, because all the things that makes up qualities of the leaders are
what is
literally
the quality
in there.
of a leader? What are the qualities of a leader? Because different people have different
Quality
fucking
leader,
things
okay.
that they want from leaders. Some people want an aggressive leader. Some people want a compassionate leader.
Leadership,
What
builds
kind of
relation,
leader do
champions
you want?
changes, inspires and motivates others. There's establishes and structures goals, collaboration and teamwork, connects to the outside world, communicates powerfully and proficiently, solves problems and analyzes issues I don't even know how to say that. Innovates, technicality or professional expertise, develops strategy perspectives.
You want to know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a fucking like an admiral or a general. And guess what? All the great admirals and generals were men.
Still, like women still, even in modern times. Yeah, even in modern times, women aren't.
Women haven't had that opportunity.
That's
if
a
you
lie,
to,
because we have a female admiral in the Navy. You're a liar. You don't know what you're talking about. If you want to say something, give evidence behind what you're saying. We have a female admiral in the Navy. No,
my god.
You gave me a study.
Yes, I did. No, this is the thing. You keep. No, I'm going to say this to you right now. You keep saying shit with no fucking evidence. I have linked you a fucking source that you yourself have just been ignorantly not wanting to look at. If you would actually mind to look at the evidence I have actually presented, it would say otherwise towards what you are
All
saying.
right, I'm going to go look at your study, God Killer, and then I'm going to go see if it meets the parameters for a study to be considered act. So I'm going to actually look at it, and if it's not meeting the parameters, then it's just shitty evidence. Like, there's like certain like attributes for studies that have to be able to be taken as just.
Is that
like,
Harvard
I don't-
Business Review? Oh my god.
Yes.
And it doesn't even say superior to men. It says every bit as effective. Woo. Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh me, oh my, oh me, oh my. You know what? Fuck it. I'll read it too. Let's play this game.
Oh my god.
For the first time in history, a major
God Killer, are you even reading the stuff you're sending?
The United States has several women who have declared their candidacy to be their party's presidential nominee, and they all fucking lost. All right, moving on. This is baffling to us, especially in light of what we see in our corporate research. We updated that research. Yeah, that one has nothing. Still, the disturbing fact is that the percentage of women in senior leadership roles in business have remained relatively steady. Yes.
Can I interrupt for a second,
that,
Crisis?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so do you know why this first of all, when it was bringing up any numbers of like how they were actually doing like control groups and stuff, they actually don't even have groups. They just have like a set number of people they looked at, and women is like it's like 4,770 something, and men's only like 3,600. Like, so they reviewed way more women than men.
Oh,
So it can't even be taken as an equal study.
You mean it's literally what I said earlier when I said that the study focused on women and was like obviously biased about women? Holy shit! It's objectively true now? That's crazy.
Wait, where did it say that exactly?
Hold on, I will grab a screenshot real quick. The only reason I didn't like looking at the studies too much is once I look at them, it shuts me down from speaking, so I have to keep moving myself to audience and back to speaker. But I'll go look real quick.
Oh, now while he's doing that, let me explain something to you. We have this thing called response bias in statistics. Now, response bias are the people that go in and take your survey.
Oh, what the fuck? Wait.
No, hold on. Before
No. Because I just found from the source itself here is that the data is from a study that includes 40,000 men and 22,000 women.
Yeah, where's that? Send a screenshot of that.
Yeah. I will.
Bro's about to draw it on MS Paint.
Which, on top of that, I would also tell you that if it does heavily go over more men than women, I would say that the amount of women in that study have an insignificant sample size, and that would mean that your data is invalid as well. But say the data is true, the funniest thing ever is that we have this thing in statistics called response bias. Response bias is who actually decides, right, to watch your video, or to like watch what you're doing, or take the survey that you're giving out. Now, what response bias means is that the people, or in this case specifically the women that are taking this survey and taking these assessments, are cherry picking themselves to take these assessments because they are the higher end women in these particular areas. Now, let me tell you what they most likely did. They grabbed 44,000 average men that aren't in leadership positions and are probably in, I don't know, not minimum wage jobs, but you're probably your desk job, your salary job. And then they took these higher end women who are in leadership roles and compared the two. Now, why do I say that that's the most likely case? Because when you're talking about are women better in leadership roles than men, the easiest way for you to skew that evidence is to talk to women who are in leadership positions and to talk to men who aren't in leadership positions. That is the easiest way to get that kind of data skewed. And it completely invalidates the entire study.
Wait, so the whole your whole entire reason behind that the scenario that you bring up would be more likely is because you believe evil, you presuppose there's inherently a bias behind it. Go ahead and prove that.
It invalidates your study Because they don't explain how they chose the men and women. They only
Yes, they do.
explain the number. No, they don't. Send me that.
Also, I'm gonna say this too. I sent the screenshots. So yeah, it's not the entirety of the number, even though the numbers are still skewed. Even though you put it in, it still had more women than men. But like which that's never
But no, they had
acceptable
more
within
men
good
than-
case studies.
not more women
because
No,
you're
than
supposed-
no, hold on, God Killer. I'm looking at the screenshot you sent, and it doesn't explain how they chose the men and women.
Well, what is this?
It
Wait,
also
crisis,
says
hear this. Overall effective rating of males and females on 49 unique behaviors, literally in the same screenshots that predicted leadership's effectiveness. Again, women at younger ages rate themselves significantly lower than men onto leadership skills, but the ratings climb as they get older with younger men. This is from what you sent.
They're skewing the data in their favor, and like I said, their data is invalid regardless, because even in your own fucking screenshot, they don't explain how they choose the men and women, which leads me
Yeah,
to
and-
believe that they cherry pick the men and women, which is
And their
invalid,
control
and
numbers
it
aren't correct.
completely invalidates the argument in its entirety. I don't need
Because
to argue
even-
this with you.
because even like in the screenshot I took, like even if it's not the entire number, like they're doing that specific amount of number, which is weird because like I don't know why they're doing only like a couple thousand if they have 40,000 men and women, and they're only doing a couple thousand for like a certain attribute. That's kind of weird. Like I don't know what, and but the fact that even in like a specific like attribute they're trying to like have like some type of study for, they have more women than men, so that's gonna skew the data. That doesn't make any sense.
Check
They don't
this out,
have-
Clueless. In his own fucking screenshot that he just sent, women rate themselves as more effective leaders later in their careers. You mean to tell me that as they get older and more experienced, they say that they have more experience in their position?
Oh my god, no way.
The self
Plus in the
skewing
premise-
of this fucking data is insane. You have
Plus the
no
study like
actual
immediately
evidence.
like it immediately starts like in states that women like positions and roles are like declining, I think. And it's like why that's really self-defeating to say like oh women can perform as good, because I don't think there's actually anything that states verbatim it's like they're more superior to men in leadership. And even if it did, like why the numbers wouldn't match up, because like if they're declining in these positions, that would be like inherently self-defeating for the study itself. Like
Not only
it'd be weird to have a study that say like, oh, these women are way better. Look at these points they have for their attributes for leadership, but they're just not like being leaders.
Bro, not
In
only
fact, they're
does the-
decreasing.
Not only does the headline like self-invalidate the entire study, but the literal article, like the paragraph right next to it, literally says that these these ratings come from themselves and those who work closely with them. You mean to tell me that if a woman is working in your department and someone asks you if they're doing good in their job, you're not going to say yes? If someone asks you about a coworker, you're very, very likely to hype up that coworker's performance because you don't want to badmouth your coworker. These studies are invalidating themselves. So I'll ask you again, do you have a comparable situation in which a male and a woman, or male and women, men and women, my apologies, are competing on a global scale that women are superior in?
That's not working. Global scale. What else do we have?
While he's searching for that, I'm gonna go use the restroom.
I'm gonna go, okay? Hello? I'm gonna go.
All right, I'm waiting.
Ryan, are you referring? Do you only want athletic competitions.
I want anything that they can accurately be depicted as being able to compete in. Anything that they are able to compete in. You can't compete in being a better leader. That is a subjective quality. You cannot compete in being better at sex. It is a subjective quality.
Oh, what's this? Wait a second. World's best. Wow, what the fuck? Why is it doing that? Let's have a look at this.
Remember, this is you saying that you believe women are not only equal to men in value, which I agree with, but they are equal in ability as well. This is your stance.
Oh wait, what? Oh, they do show it. Oh, wait, no, they don't show it for this one. Ah, they do here.
I'm gonna give you about 5 more minutes. This is getting long as hell, and we've gotten nowhere.
Yeah, how much did they pay? Fuck it. I'll use that random thing I found before. Where is it? Okay, let me look at stats. Let's see what we got here.
This man said, let me look at stats, bro. I'm weak.
Oh, wait a second. Netball. Do you know what netball is?
No.
It's oh, I thought it was global. It's not global over in the US.
Is it a sport? Is it a what is it?
Oh, it's sport.
Okay. What's it called?
Netball.
Netball. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that's global.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, what's your argument for netball?
I'm just looking real quick at bigfooty.com. Oh wait, fuck you.
Because I just read up a little bit on netball, so I'm curious to see as what you're going to say in regards to the superiority of women in this sport.
What I am just looking at.
You have 45 seconds to find something.
Yeah, sure. Pretty much, on a more basis of, on more times than account, women themselves, well, globally in competitions, women have been able to actually win cups. Now, sure, you could say, you'll make the argument, well, men are just naturally better, and they're just going against women. Well, actually, one of the biggest things that I did find is that a lot of women in netball do go against men, and on an equal playing field, and the women still come up on top.
Okay, so what are you arguing? Are you arguing that women are obviously, or like they're better at netball than men? Because from what I'm
Say
reading,
women are
from
superior
what
than
I'm- from
men
what
at
I'm
netball.
reading right here is that this is a rare sport that has been exclusively created for the female sex. How interesting.
There's a
There
I
are
I'm
all
I
female
don't know
teams
about
that
if it
play-
was or
there are-
not.
How netball is played is that there are all female teams that compete in a female league. There are all male teams that compete in a male league, and there are mixed teams that play in a mixed league. So, your argument that a all-female team will play an all-male team is invalidated by the fact that it does not happen at a ranked place. It is not like
Wait.
there are no sanctioned
What do we
all-female versus
what do we
all-male
refer to a
matches.
mixed team?
The
team?
mixed team just means that there are some males and some females, which would imply that the males are not better than the females
Yeah,
on that
most
team
of the star
because they're
players
mixed.
in the mixed
That
teams,
argument doesn't make
most of the
sense.
best players in the mixed team are females.
That argument doesn't make sense because you're not putting all males against all females, so you can't determine which is better. Your argument
Wait,
that
but
a
it's a mixed team,
team,
an
your
equal
argument,
amount of males and
God
females
killer,
on both sides
your
of the team.
argument that a mixed team has female players that are better does not matter because you're not putting them against each other. Sure, they may shine more on a mixed team for various reasons. Put an all-male team against an all-female team, and then you can have that discussion. This does not happen in the sport of netball.
If we want to go there, I mean, that's just a little bit ignorant to the idea that there's males on literally both sides of the teams, an equal amount of males,
That is fine.
and an equal
You're
amount
not
of females.
pitting women against
goals,
men
but even
in
then,
this team.
more goals, more scores. And there have been
Oh,
An all
how-
boys
how
netball
funny.
team is allowed to
There
And
have
compete
been
against
matches where
a clip
women
went
and
viral
male have
online.
played against each other,
A
and the
news,
women's have
a
came
news span went viral
Well, there
online
have been
in which
those
all-male
games
team
where males
beat
have
a
won that
girl
as well,
team in
but
a tournament.
in the
How
end,
interesting.
it's not an all be done
And it's
all
happened
that men are
multiple
just
times.
superior at literally every little sport.
Oh, that's funny because the sport you just brought up actually had a
You-
controversy in which an all-male team beat a all-female team in a tournament and caused an uproar. How sad that there was an instance of an all-female team versus an all-male team. The males dominated them and people got upset over it. This is what happens.
That's a bit crazy, as I myself have made a specification that sure, there are the cases where males have a full-on male team have beaten a woman team. Yes, that is true, but there are more cases of matches between
Show
all
me
females
a
and all
case.
males where the women
Show me
themselves
a
have
case in
won.
which an all-female team beats an all-male team. Show me the case. Give me the case study. Show me an instance in
Case
which it
study?
occurs.
You want a case study. You don't want a video of a match or whatever.
You literally heard what I just said. Show me either a case study or an instance in which it occurs. That would imply a video. Come on. It's like you're not even listening.
Oh, males.
Oh boy.
Hey, let me just get on the map. Just real quick, by any chance, was the one that you searched up the Gold Coast 2018?
I have
Or the one
no
you found on?
idea.
Was the Gold Coast 2018?
No, it was September 23rd of 2021. Queensland Netball.
No,
An all boys team dominated an
Okay,
all
so the
girls
Gold
team
Coast.
46 to 12. 46 to 12. Over tripled their score. Triple.
I forgot how the point system works in netball.
It wouldn't matter. They still triple the score. Numbers are numbers. Even if it's like football and they get 7 points per whatever the fuck they did, it is still triple the amount of points. Over triple the amount of points. 2 points away from being quadruple. God damn if I get quadrupled in a sport. Holy shit.
Okay. I was just thinking of something, right? Now, let me ask you this, right?
Sure you were.
What's next? That's what I want to know. What's next?
What's next? The burden is on you. You made the stance
No,
that
no, no, no,
men.
no,
You
no.
made the stance that men and women were equal in ability. You now have the burden of proof to prove that men and women are equal in ability. This is your stance, not mine. What's next? The question is, what's next
Huh?
to you?
No. If all the what comes after that?
Then, if the case ends up being that men and women are not equal in ability, then your stance is false. That's what comes next. Your stance is false. The
whole
stream
point
ends
of bringing
because
it
we
up.
came. The stream ends because we came to the conclusion that men and women are equal in value and not ability. That is what the stream is. We asked everyone in the panel, do you believe that women and men are equal in value or ability? We agreed that it was value. You said that it was ability. You've been trying to prove ability for the last 50 minutes and 55 seconds.
Go do that.
You're
One
still trying to do so.
Go do that. One person keeps sitting over my FUP. St. Kino guy or whatever. We find him.
This is the stipulation of gender equality. We have men and women equal at societal value. Yes, that's fine. In ability, men and women are not equal. And you've pretty much proved that today.
Ability.
In ability,
Hey.
yes. We've said the word
You
ability
have-
multiple times. We've related ability to the ability to. We've related ability to the competition between men and women. We've asked you for any way that men and women are competing that women are superior in. You have yet to give any logical reasoning behind that. You've come up with multiple points, all of which have been defeated. By not just me,
Defeated
but by
by-
others as well. We had a woman come on and say that you were wrong. It's crazy. It happened. I was there.
Oh fuck. Ah.
Oh, fuck indeed.
Wait. I think I found this motherfucker. Speak for me.
Hello.
You're fucking him. Yeah. Okay. Yo, get the fuck off my For You page.
What the fuck?
You are being constantly on my For You fucking page. I'm not liking it.
I have?
Yes, you have.
How interesting.
You're that like Seneko guy, aren't you?
Who?
Seneko.
No, I don't think I'm anything like that.
You sure?
Yep, no, that's not my name.
Sure.
I mean,
You sure?
my name is on my Discord profile. It's right there. And then my YouTube is linked to that profile, so if you want to confirm that, it's up to you. You are having a hard time finding any evidence to back your stance here.
Oh. You literally look like him. What are you on about?
I don't see how I look like him because I'm not.
Wait a second. Wait. Maybe. Oh wait, no. Wait. Fuck. I don't know. I don't even fucking.
Yeah, that's great and all. Do you have any actual evidence to back your stance, or are you done?
Okay, I'm done. I can't be.
Okay, fine. Harmony, do you have any different opinions on whether or not men and women are equal in value and or ability? No, doesn't appear so. Alright, so there you have it. We came to the conclusion that men and women are equal in value, but not in ability. Might talk more about that at a different time, But for now, we have been going on for just about 55 minutes. So we're going to cut it off here, and I'll see everyone next time.